Hey guys, what's up? It's Jack here today, back with another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing WWE TLC 2009. I sat down and watched this again last night. I hadn't watched it in quite some time, so I thought I'd do a quick review of it. And if I'm being honest, I think this is quite an underrated pay-per-view when I actually look back at it. I think with the events what actually happened at this event and some of the matches, this really is a pay-per-view that doesn't really get talked about that much. So yeah, so here's the cover. We've got a picture of the TLC match. You have Chris Jericho, Chris Jericho pushing Shawn Michaels off the ladder. And at the side you've got the Undertaker with a chair and John Cena with a table. So yeah, here's the back. The main four matches. Open up. Here's the disc. Didn't come with a manual, but I do remember the match order. So we kicked things off with the ECW Championship on the line in a ladder match between Christian and Shelton Benjamin. Now, when ECW was kind of just WWE's thing back when Paul Heyman left, ECW really was just kind of left on the side. Like pretty much all the ECW Championship matches on pay-per-views just didn't really have that feel to it. But on this occasion, a ladder match between Christian and Shelton Benjamin really made that championship seem really important again. So I really like how they were doing that. Unfortunately, this was the second to last pay-per-view the ECW Championship was ever defended on, as of course in January, shortly after the Royal Rumble, ECW went off the air. But anyway, onto this match. Put these two in a ladder match, you know it's going to be great, and it sure was. Very good chemistry in the early going. There was a spot where Christian did get busted open in the early goings, where Christian was bringing the ladder into the ring, and Shelton kind of pulled Christian's feet, and then the ladder fell on Christian's face. And this was back when WWE was kind of settling into their PG mode, and they had to stop the match to wipe the blood from Christian's face. They don't really do that too often now, but you know it kind of slowed the pace down a little bit. But the pace picked right back up afterwards, where both men would climb a ladder on the outside of the ring. Christian would get knocked down, and Shelton would jump off the ladder, hitting a senton on Christian. It was phenomenal. Then back in the room, we see some really great creativity with the ladder. Shelton, with the great balance he had, he would like lean off the ladder, so the ladder would come down. It was like an 18-foot ladder, and he would clothesline Christian. So really good chemistry going on here. The finish was great as well for the match. A ladder was placed from the ring onto the announce table, and Christian placed Shelton Benjamin on the ladder, and then he climbed to the top turnbuckle, hit a dive, a big splash off the turnbuckle, landed on Shelton, which sent Shelton crashing through the ladder. And then Christian went back into the ring, climbed up the ladder, and grabbed the ECW Championship. This match kicked off the show, and it was the match of the night by far. These two had a phenomenal chemistry, and like I said, this is probably one of the best ECW Championship matches, probably back when WWE kind of took over ECW. So this was a phenomenal match. So I rate these matches in stars. So if I was to give this a star rating, I'd probably give it 4 stars in the quarter. So yeah, very great match here. Second match of the night was for the Intercontinental Championship. It was John Morrison defending against Drew McIntyre. This was back when Drew McIntyre was getting an incredible push in his career. A solid match, back and forth here between these two. I think WWE kind of brushed Drew McIntyre in a little bit too much, and I think that's where his downfall happened. As for like mid-2010, Drew McIntyre kind of became an afterthought for the rest of his career. But this was an alright match between these two. It was okay, nothing special, but it wasn't a half-bad match. Drew McIntyre picked up a victory with the kind of that DDT he used to do. I'm not entirely too sure what it's called. It's been a while, but yeah, it was an alright match. Probably give it 2.5 stars. Then we next had the Women's Championship on the line between Mickie James and Mcool. Two divas who I really do miss watching in WWE. I was a huge fan of both, especially Michelle. And yeah, she was a fantastic women's champion. She actually had an incredible reign. This was part of it. She won the championship back at the Bash, and she was still the champion here in December 2009. Yeah, very good divas match here. They gave it a fair amount of time. These two had good chemistry. Yeah, two very good workers here, back and forth action. There was a couple of times when Mickie James was going to win, like when she hit a DDT she used to do, a phenomenal move. But Michelle McCool, won with that big kick she used to hit. She used to use, kind of like what Trish Stratus used to use. But yeah, it was a very solid Divas match. They gave it a lot of time, which I really liked. And it's a shame that you get a lot of Divas matches like this nowadays. But Star rating, I'll probably give it 2.5 again. Very good Divas match. Then we had the tables match on next, and this was the WWE Championship. It was John Cena defending against Sheamus. Now, Sheamus at this time was still a newcomer in WWE. He had only debuted in June or July in ECW 2009. So WWE kind of like rushed him into this, but nobody saw this coming when Sheamus actually won this match and he won the WWE Championship. This for me is probably one of the biggest shockers in years. I remember watching this pay-per-view live and I just was absolutely gobsmacked. I was happy because I thought it was a great change, and I was happy to see someone beat Cena here, but I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. But anyway, tables match. Tables matches I'm not the biggest fan of. I only really like them if I kind of like old tables matches, like Dudley's versus Hardy's versus Edge and Christian. Nowadays, tables matches just don't seem to have that same thrill to them. You sometimes get good ones, but sometimes they're quite boring. But these two made this into quite a no-holds-barred match. There's quite a few table attempts, but then they kind of fought more in the crowd, fighting around the arena. They really did put on a really good show in this match, and it was a very good match in my opinion. They had some good chemistry. But how Sheamus would win the match was there was a table placed in the middle of the ring. Both guys were fighting on top of the turnbuckle. Cena was going to try and suplex Sheamus through the table. Sheamus just all out of nowhere just pushed Cena, and Cena would go flying, crashing through the table. And even the commentators couldn't believe it. Like, I think Jerry the King Lawler was just like, "What? What just happened?" And you could just see the look on the crowd's face. It was brilliant. I mean, I think at the time some people might have thought it was accidental because the way Sheamus won the match, it did look like it might have been a mistake. But no, WWE had Sheamus win this match, and for me, it was a great move. And this was really the birth of Sheamus here. And yeah, it was a really big shocker, and the match just really worked in my opinion. So yeah, really good stuff here. So for a star rating, I'll probably give it, I'm going to give it 3 stars and 3/4. I really enjoyed this match. I might give it an extra little bit because of the shocker involved, but I think that pays off. So yeah, very good match here. Then we next have the World Heavyweight Championship on the line, the Undertaker versus Batista in a chairs match. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this concept. A chairs match to me just doesn't have the same feel to it. A ladder match, you win by grabbing the championship or briefcase or whatever. Tables match, you win by putting your opponent through a table. TLC, you won by, the same way as a ladder, but tables and chairs are involved. A chairs match is just a match where you can only use chairs. To me, that is pointless. I didn't like the idea of that. And for Undertaker and Batista, this wasn't a great match of theirs. If you look back at 2007, they had classic matches: Steel Cage, WrestleMania, Last Man Standing, Hell in a Cell. Chairs match, it just didn't click for me. The chair was barely used as a weapon throughout the match, which hurt it as well. I think whenever the Undertaker went for a chair shot on Batista would counter it. It was okay, but the crowd weren't even all that into it at times. And then Batista would get a low blow in the match, and then he would give the Undertaker a headshot with the chair, then he would get the pinfall. Then Teddy Long would come out afterwards and say that you can only use chairs in this match, so that low blow doesn't count, restart the match. And then the Undertaker hit the Batista with the chair, headshot again, and then he delivered the tombstone to win. I was happy with the Undertaker winning. I didn't want Batista to win at the time, but I think the whole you can't use a low blow in this match was stupid. I mean, it's a no disqualification match, but you can only use chairs. It didn't make sense. It was a stupid stipulation, and I just think looking back on it, it was a really stupid move. Either they should have had Batista win the match that way, or just not even bother doing that. I just think it was a really dumb move. But the match itself was pretty disappointing. Like I said, they've had classic matches in the past, but for me, they just didn't click here. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't a very particularly good match for these two in the series. So I'm going to be generous and give it probably 2 stars and 3/4. It was okay. It was good if it was a SmackDown main event, but for this, it needed to be a lot better. Then we were next treated to Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. This was when Kofi Kingston was on the push of his career. He had an incredible push towards the end of 2009, coming off Survivor Series, and he and Orton battled it out here in what I think is one of Kofi's best matches today in his career. Incredible back and forth action. These two had great chemistry. There was a really great spot in the match where on the outside of the ring, Kofi climbed the top turnbuckle. He went for like a big crossbody, and then Randy Orton countered with a drop kick into the ribs. Incredible stuff. Really good action here between these two. Kofi, you know, this was like a main event championship match. The crowd were really into it as well. But Randy Orton would pick up the victory here with an RKO. But I think this, like I said, it's a shame that Kofi his push never really continued after this. Because I think if he continued up to this point, you know, if he was still getting pushed like this, he probably would have been a multiple-time world champion by now. But yeah, very good match. Probably one of Kofi's best matches to date. Him and Orton really had great chemistry. So I'm going to give this 3 stars and 3/4. Another really good match. And then it was time for the main event, a TLC match for the Unified Tag Team Championships. It was the tag team of Jerishow, Shelton and the Big Show, versus D-Generation X. I was a huge fan of Jerishow. I thought they were a great tag team. Obviously, they were originally never planned due to Edge and Jericho's originally being a team, but then Edge towards Achilles tendon. So then Jericho and the Big Show became a tag team. But I thought they kicked ass throughout 2009. You know, they were a really great heel tag team. You know, I've always been a huge fan of Jericho, and this made me an even bigger Big Show fan, but I just thought they were a great tag team. TLC match between these four. Between these two teams, I mean, sorry. Triple H and the Big Show kind of just brawled outside the ring. They were kind of fighting around the stage, where Michaels and Jericho were the ones more using the weapons. Like we saw a couple of attempts to put each other through a table. The ladders were used mainly throughout the match. Big Show kind of broke a couple. And we saw some good action with the chairs. We only saw one table used, which I thought was a bit of a bad move. They should have used a couple. Big Show grabbed hold of Triple H and like chokeslammed him into Shawn Michaels into a table, which was like at the side by the security wall, by where the timekeeper's desk is. But yeah, towards the end of the match, Jericho and the Big Show didn't even use the ladder to try and grab the championships. Jericho would just go on top of Big Show's shoulders and try and attempt to grab the championships. And then Shawn Michaels would super kick the Big Show, and then Big Show would stagger back, and Jericho would fall off. Jericho was trying to time it so he would fall, crashing through the table, but unfortunately he would only land head first. Otherwise, that would have been a great table spot. And then, yeah, Triple H and the Big Show took out Shawn Michaels, and then they used kind of like one side of the broken ladder. Shawn Michaels went up and grabbed the championships. Overall, it was a fun match. It's probably one of the worst TLC matches in my opinion, but it worked. In my opinion, it was a good match, but it could have been better. But I'll give it a fair rating of probably 3.5 stars. I do think it's great to see the X1 winning tag team championships in their incredible careers. But yeah, Jericho and the Big Show. This was their last pay-per-view match as a tag team as well. So yeah, take a look at this pay-per-view. I think this pay-per-view is quite underrated. I mean, it has a phenomenal ladder match kicking off the show. The tables match is very good, and Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton give us a really good match too. TLC match is fun. It's a good match, but it's not a particularly great TLC match. Undertaker and Batista's okay. It's disappointing for them, but it's an okay match. Drew McIntyre Morrison's a decent match, and the Women's Championship match is very good as well. So overall, I'd give this event a solid 8 out of 10. I think this is a great pay-per-view. Definitely one worth checking out if you haven't seen it before, particularly for the 3 main matches I said about. So yeah, cheers guys for watching.